Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Catherine Toon, and I'm doing a more informal video piece this morning, partially because I thought it would be fun. What a great reason to do something. And partially because my laptop is completely collapsed, and so I can't use all the fancy technology. So we're going to have fun while God is replacing my fancy technology. God is good, isn't he? So he's taking care of me and he's taking care of you. But I wanted to share this morning about this concept of being made significance. And so much of the battles that we face as human beings is this need for significance, right? When you are struggling in your significance, it starts to be about things that it was never meant to be about, right? So instead of just doing what you do because you're intrinsically amazing, you do something in order to be something. And this is such a trap. And let me just help you. I mean, I've been in that trap. I kind of started out in that trap. That was my whole journey. Oh my goodness. In becoming a medical doctor, age 7, because I was really taught that I was worthless. I don't know how else to say that. Hey, Raymond, good to see you. In one way or the other. And it wasn't like, hi, I'm going to teach you that you're worthless. It's how you're treated. Abuse that happens at a young age can put all sorts of cray lies in there, right? And so in that, it was a battle for significance. So in my little 7-year-old brain, I said, well, what is the hardest thing if my value is in what I do? Because clearly, I'm worth nothing or less than nothing. What's the hardest thing I could do? And in my little 7-year-old brain, I said, wow, I'll be a doctor. That's what it is. And literally that vow took me down a path. I didn't ask the Lord, is this what I'm supposed to do? I just did it. I just barreled through. Good morning, Raymond. I love you. How nice. So it led me this whole journey of really trying to be something by doing something, instead of healing my heart and realizing I was, and out of that place doing amazing things, because you were made to perform. You really were, to do amazing things, but you were made to perform from being settled in your heart that you are all that in a bag of chips, and you really are. You were made in the image and likeness of God, period. And he didn't get distracted and botch his work. He didn't give you a second rate. He didn't get bored. He didn't, whatever. He crafted you. And so you are intrinsically significant, whether or not you do anything that seems significant. Let me ask you, if you had this horrific car accident and you were paralyzed from the waist down at the age of 3 or something, and so you could never really do that much, and say you had a traumatic brain injury, and so intellectually you weren't tracking with everything, and you had all these issues, so that you couldn't contribute, so-called. Does that make you not significant? You see, we get confused when we start to equate our significance with our contribution. And you know what? You were made to contribute, but you were made to contribute because you were significant, not in order to be significant. And so the ways that we start to compete with things, I was talking to the Lord about this morning, the way we compete, the way we envy, the way we compare, it's all about this need for significance. When we get jealous, all of that, it's all about if we were just settled in our significance and our value and our worth, intrinsic, then we wouldn't do any of this stupid stuff, right? We wouldn't have to own it all and be it all and look it all and whatever it all, right? All the crazy stuff we do. It's interesting because the Lord is ministering to me this morning, and he was showing me all these ways that this lie of you're not significant had creeped into my life. And literally every time I started to pop my head up with anything of value, in so much of my formative years, and then later on in life. I mean, I literally got just hammered. And I felt like the whack-a-mole, right? And it was just such an attack on this. And, and what it did is it forced me, other than the fact that I coped by trying to be something by doing, okay, just, you've got to love me anyway. And you do, God does. But it forced me to retreat to the Lord because it was excruciatingly painful. Because on one hand, I knew I was supposed to do something that was valid. And it was like the whack-a-mole, just got to keep her down. And because of the brokenness of so many of the people around me, that if there was anything that was of value or significant, it made them feel less. And you have to understand, someone else's significant never makes you less significant. Someone else's accomplishments or, ability to influence or looks or bank balance or whatever. See, do not minimize yours at all, because you're you and you are unique. So what are you saying, Roman? See, I have disabilities, and I have learned to love myself even though I am slow doing things. I felt insignificant most of my life. I am so sorry, Raymond. And let me say, you've got one of the most beautiful hearts. And, having tracked with you a while, and just seeing how you love people and lift people up, that is gorgeous. Just like your father. You look just like Jesus, right? And so that's what we're made for. And so learning to relax in your significance and learning to foster other people in their significance, it is a win-win deal. Listen, when one of us wins, we all win, right? We all win. It's not like there's this, great pie maker in the sky, and if someone else gets theirs, you don't get yours. And if someone else gets in the significance pie, someone else gets significance, you don't get yours. God he's bigger than the universe, and the universe is constantly expanding, right? And so your significance rests on the fact that you belong to God. You belong to God whether you choose him back or not. You do know that, right? And so every human being made in the image and likeness of God, every child of God is so significant. Is so, when you don't manifest and when you're not unveiled, it leaves a hole in the universe. And that's how significant you are. And so your significance shouldn't look like anyone else's. This is you and Jesus. And sometimes we have things in common, which is great. And sometimes we're really different. But we all get to be significant. We all get to be God's favorite. I don't know how that is. I just know he's love, and that's how he is. So I just want to encourage you in any place that's feeling insecure, in any place that's all worried because maybe you feel like you're so behind. And so I won't have a chance to leave my mark on the world because, I got derailed with such and so, or I'm behind, or my significance, I must not be significant. I'm saying the fact that you are present is a contribution. It's interesting. I was talking to Paul Young, and he was saying, children never worry about leaving an impact, at least not unless they're broken. Children assume that their presence means impact. And you see, who you are and your presence means that it's an impact on the world. And out of that place, you're going to do things. The Word of God says that then that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. Of course, there are exploits with your name on it, but that's not what makes you significant. It just basically says, yeah, out of your significance, you did something awesome. But understand, you being you and you being unveiled as you in all your significance and all your value and all your worth is your greatest contribution. And then things naturally flow as an outgrowth of that, right? And so you can relax. And if you feel like you're behind, relax. You're not behind being you. You already are you. Good morning. So good to see you. And good morning, everybody. Hi, Anne. Hi, Mary. So I just want you to relax. I really felt like that was a word, that you already are so significant because you belong to God. You occupy a place in the universe no one else can occupy. And I hear this term kind of by this generation, and it breaks my heart every time I've heard it said. And that is, yeah, they're a waste of space. I'm like, what? Good morning, Karen. I'm like, what? See, we get so jacked up. We get so jacked up. And someone near and dear, I know, just for confidentiality, I'm not saying their name, but, they struggle with eating disorders and an incredible depression, an incredible sense of I'm not valuable. And I'm like, what the hell? Since when did your worth and value come from anything else but the one who made you, and the fact that you belong uniquely to the one who crafted you and made his imprint on the world, on you and through you, right? And that's eternal, by the way. What you do or don't do doesn't take anything away from that. And sure, you're called to do great things, but your purpose and things like that is secondary to you just showing up on planet Earth and being unveiled with who you are. And Jesus didn't say, wow, I give you a commandment to fulfill your purpose, to make an impact on the world. Okay. He said, love one another as I have loved you. And you will, of course, leave an impact. You showing up, allowing yourself to be loved by God and loving yourself and loving others is your impact. And that's going to manifest in a whole lot of different ways. But, when this veil is lifted and, hi, Elaine, and, we're standing before Jesus, he's not going to say, well, okay, what kind of impact did you make? Did you fulfill your purpose? Okay. He's going to say, how well did you live? Because that is your impact and your purpose. You showing up as you in union with Christ, unveiled as a son and daughter, displaces the things that needs to be displaced. And your mandate is simple, to love as he's loved. And then what does that look like? And then I'm dependent upon you to get there from here. But I'm going to relax because I was already significant, because I was born on this planet. I was born as your son and daughter. You are adored right where you're at. And I know we have a lot of brokenness. I know blah, 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 blah. I've had my share. But I also know that who you are, your true identity, is untarnished by the crap that's happened to you, by the crap that you've done. Untarnished, because it's who you are. And so connecting with that and allowing the Lord to minister to that in every place that's felt insignificant, that's felt worthless, that's felt less than. And sometimes that shows up kind of how you think it will. People shame-based, people, hurting, limping, apologizing, that kind of thing, low self-esteem. And sometimes it shows up as arrogance and pride and having to prove it and own it all and be it all, okay? And so they're really two sides of the same coin, because if you know who you are, you really don't have anything to prove, right? You don't. So rest, relax. You are adored right where you are. Let the Lord minister your significance to you. Let the Lord heal your heart in every place where people and circumstances have told you that you're less than, that you're not enough, that you're too much, all of that mess. Let him strip shame off of you. Let him show you who you truly are. Forgive other people. Forgive yourself. Clean up your mess where you need to clean up your mess. You're powerful and amazing. You can do that. And move on. Let the Lord show you to you. And you won't be disappointed, because you're gorgeous, made in his image and likeness, in your flavor that looks like no one else's, and is intrinsically significant, valuable, and absolutely, utterly gorgeous. Anyway, I hope this has been a blessing for you today. For those of you who are needing some help with this, check out my Marked by Love book. I have a free chapter in it on my website, catherinetoon.com. check out all the freebies. I got a lot of great freebies. But the Marked by Love book will really help you with this. I spent 20 years pouring my walk out of this feeling of shame and significance and all that kind of stuff to help people get free. Yeah? Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for joining. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.